Welcome to Magic Buddy 2, where stories shine like sunny balloons. From baby giggles to grandpa's grin. Animals and people, let's dive in. Learn and laugh and tales come true. All the fun begins with you.
This is the story of two best friends and the most fun day they ever had, building a treehouse together. Tomo and Ravi had been best friends since they were little kids. They did everything together, from climbing trees to racing paper boats in the stream. One sunny morning, they had a big idea. "Let's build a treehouse," Tomo whispered, and Ravi's eyes lit up with excitement. They ran to the garden shed and gathered wood, nails, and their trusty old toolbox, ready for their secret project. With a tall ladder and big smiles, they climbed up the sturdy old tree in Ravi's backyard, hearts racing with excitement. Building a tree house wasn't easy, but they worked together like a perfect team, measuring, sawing, and hammering every plank in place. As they built, a curious little squirrel peeked out from the branches, tilting its head and watching the boys work. Suddenly, one of the wooden planks slipped, but quick-thinking Ravi caught it just in time, saving the day. "Thanks, buddy," said Tomo with a grin. They high-fived and kept on building, stronger and happier than ever. They built up the walls one by one and carefully placed the roof on top, making sure everything felt safe and cozy. Just as they finished the roof, the clouds rolled in and it began to rain, but the boys just laughed and huddled under their new shelter. When the rain stopped, the sky opened to a beautiful rainbow. The boys peeked out, their eyes full of wonder. "Now we decorate," said Ravi. They brought up cushions, snacks, and paper flags to make the treehouse feel like home. Together, they made a wooden sign that read "Friendship Fort" and hung it proudly above the door. Tomo had packed his favorite cookies, and Ravi had brought a silly book of stories. They sat together munching and giggling. They played card games, drew funny comics, and made up adventures about pirates and space explorers living in their fort. Suddenly, a bright yellow bird landed on the window ledge, chirping a happy tune. The boys froze, amazed. Ravi crumbled a cookie and gently placed the crumbs on the ledge. The bird pecked gratefully and flew away. As the day slowly ended, the sky turned golden and the treehouse glowed with the soft light of the setting sun. The stars began to twinkle above. The boys leaned back and stared up, imagining galaxies and comets and faraway planets. "This is the best day ever," whispered Tomo as they sat side by side under the stars. "Let's build a rocket next time," laughed Ravi, and the two burst into giggles once more. They packed up their games and pillows, climbed down carefully, and looked back proudly at their treehouse. Their parents were waiting with warm smiles waving from the porch. They had seen the whole adventure from below. Tomo and Ravi ran up the steps, shoes muddy and faces glowing, talking over each other about the rainbow and the bird. After dinner, they brushed their teeth, yawning between giggles as they remembered every little moment of their special day. When they crawled into bed, they pulled the blankets high and smiled up at the ceiling, eyes slowly closing. That night, both boys dreamed of new tree houses, floating castles, and flying squirrels with tiny backpacks. They didn't need toys or screens, just wood, a tree, and each other. Because the best adventures begin with imagination, and your best friend by your side. Outside, the treehouse stood still and quiet, with the little "Friendship Fort" sign swaying gently in the night breeze. The stars twinkled above as if they too were smiling at what the boys had built. Good night, Tomo. Good night, Ravi. And good night to the magical little fort built by friendship.